For the exercises in this chapter, we're going to work one single program. We're going to build a to-do list using the techniques we've learned about text file processing. So I'm going to start off by showing you how the program works. So I've already compiled it, and let's run it. So you have a main menu with 4 choices: exit the program, display the to-do list, add item to to-do list, or remove item from to-do list. So let's see what we've already put in the to-do list. There's one item, cook dinner. I went ahead and entered that before we started the program. Let's add another item. Now let's display the items. So you see we have cook dinner, wash dishes. Now let's remove cook dinner. So we're going to click 3 to remove an item. 1. Now let's display the list again. And you see that the list now is just wash dishes. And then we'll hit 0 to stop the program. So that's how the program works. Now let's build it. So the first thing we have to do is rename the current working program to something else. We'll call it chap 17 part 7.bak for backup. Then we'll delete. Oops, I left out an A. Oh, it's because I already renamed it. Don't have to delete it. Okay, so moving on. Start the program again. First thing we're going to do is import the classes that we need. We'll import everything from java.io. We need the scanner class, and we need the ArrayList class. Now we begin the program. The first thing we need to do is we need to create a global variable that stores the file name where our to-do list is located. And this time, rather than put it in the current working directory, we're going to put it in a subdirectory. I have a directory called data, and we're going to put the file there. So when we want to access the file, we're going to have to access the complete path, which is c:\data /to-do.txt. But notice that we have to put 2 backslashes in the string. That is because one single backslash, like \t, in a string represents the special character tab. So to make the compiler recognize the backslash as a backslash and not part of the special character, we have to put another backslash before it. So now we have a full path to the file stored in file name. Now we're ready to write public static void main. And it's going to throw an IO exception, or it handles IO exceptions thrown. The main program is simply going to call different methods based on a choice the user makes from the menu, as you saw when we worked the program. So what we're going to do in main is simply create a variable called menu item, set it to -1, because that's not a choice in the real menu. And then we're going to say, while menu item is not equal to 0, which is the choice to stop the program, then we'll get the choice from the user via a method called menu, which we'll see later. And then we're simply going to switch on the menu item choice and perform one of 4 different tasks. If the selection is 1, we're going to run a method called showList and then break. If the method is 2, we'll run a method called addItem and then a break. If the choice is 3, we run a method called removeItem and a break. If case is 0, then we don't have to do anything but just break, and that will stop the program. That'll break us out of the loop altogether. Or if the user enters something we don't recognize, we'll write out a message, don't recognize input. Close out the switch, close out the while, and close out main. Now, to compile it, we probably need to at least create stubs for all of the methods that we've talked about. So I'm going to create those right now. And then we're going to compile what we have. We call these stubs because they don't have any definition, no body. They just provide us with a means of letting the compiler recognize that there are methods with those names. Let's add addItem in here. And skip a space and close the program. Let's save what we've done and compile it just to make sure everything's working correctly. Let's clear the screen. This one wants a return. Let's put that in there real quick with the semicolon. That should get us past the compile. Try it again. Okay. We'll return 0. Try it again. Okay, so it passes the compile. Now, it's not a complete program, of course. Let's do one more method in this exercise, and then we'll save the other ones for the second exercise. Let's do menu. So the first thing we do in the menu is we create a variable called the choice. Then we create a scanner object, which is associated with the keyboard, system.in. Then we write out the menu. So we're going to start with a \n, so we have a little space there. I didn't have that before. I want that to show up. And then another print line for the first choice, which is actually choice 0. Exit the program. Then for 1, we display the to-do list. Then the next is add item to to-do list. Then next we have number 3, remove item from to-do list. Then we have a blank line. Line, open and close parentheses. Then prompt the user. Enter a choice. Choice is equal to input.nextInt. Return choice. And we're done. Close out the definition of menu. We actually have one already. We'll get rid of that one. And that should compile. Let's save it. Compile it. And just for fun, let's see what we get when we run it. Okay, so there's our main menu, and it allows us to enter a choice. And then it doesn't do anything else at this point, so it just takes us back to the main menu because we're looping. So we can enter 1, or we can enter 3, we can enter 2 again. But when we enter 0, it should stop the program, and it does. So far, everything's working. So now in the next exercise, we'll finish out implementing the program and then test it again.